following the shepherd. Nothing more important to us than that we stay close to our shepherd, that our lives are led by him, that we are guided by the voice of our wonderful shepherd who looks out for us, who cares for us, who nurtures us, who makes sure that we are protected from bad things and make sure we have all that we can ever need. And so we just want to learn this morning, how can we follow the shepherd? So one of the scariest things that I've ever experienced in my life was being lost. I can remember as a child, I would get distracted in a store, and my mom would be maybe looking through clothes racks, and I would get just a little bored, perhaps, by being in the women's clothing section. So I would always kind of look around for some toys or something that I would enjoy looking at a little more than women's clothes. And I can remember one particular time I was just kind of playing or something, and I looked up, looking around for my mom, and she was nowhere to be found. She was still shopping and looking at things. Didn't even realize I wasn't following her around anymore until it was too late. And I just remember it's like going from place to place and aisle to aisle. And with each aisle that I looked down unsuccessfully, I just got more and more afraid. It's like, wow, what in the world? I'm a little kid and I'm just lost in this store. And so that was just, I remember being so frightened. Now, nothing bad happened. I eventually found, I think I went to the front desk and told me, hey, I'm lost. I don't know where my mom is. And just said, well, what's your mom's name? And then they called my mom over the announcement system. But I can remember feeling so afraid and being lost. I don't know how old I was, a little kid. But I still get afraid like that. I'll tell you the secret. I still get afraid like that when I look up every once in a while and I realize, whoa, where's my shepherd? What happened? I've been doing life. I've been living. I've been working hard. I've been perhaps getting so distracted with life that I look up and my shepherd is nowhere to be found. Jesus. It's like, what has happened to my life here? And things are out of sorts. Listen, when you look up and look around, you can see the evidence that your shepherd hasn't been there really quickly. And it can be scary. It can be frightening. It can get lonely. And worst of all, here's the worst one. It can get frustrating. Now, frustration will cause us to do all kind of bad things. It'll cause us to do all kind of negative things. It will cause us to blow our lives up when we act out of frustration. So that's why I say the worst of all. You can be afraid, and that can cause you to do some bad things and go in the wrong direction. But being frustrated is something, anytime you start to feel frustrated, and I'll do a separate lesson on that because it's important. But beware of frustration. Get some course correction as soon as possible when you start to feel frustrated. Find somebody to talk to and work that thing out, because you do not want to start taking steps out of frustration. That's the biggest mistake. One of the biggest life destroyers is acting out of frustration. So don't do that. And then I feel the need now. I'm going to have to work out a separate message just for that. That is big. That is important. But listen, right now, we want to follow our shepherd. And so how do you follow your shepherd? How do you make sure you stay close to him? So here's how people get lost from the shepherd. First of all, you get lost if you are trying to go too fast. He gives you a promise. He gives you a dream. It's like, yes, I know that's how I do it. I get so excited and I have so much faith. I want to follow God. I want to go and do it. He says, I believe what he says. I'm not one he has to convince. He just has to whisper something. It's like I perk up and I look around. It's like, yes, let's go. Boom. I get excited about that. I have no problem with faith. What I have a problem with is patience and waiting. And so often I will run ahead of him. And then I realize, whoa, where's the Lord? I thought you told me to come here. So yeah, but it wasn't time yet. So it's kind of like he wants to tell us about it and then give us more instructions. But if we run ahead before it's not time, when it's not time, then we get lost. So think about this. Think about, the way a parent or an adult might teach a small child how to swim. They don't just say, okay, here we are at the edge of the pool together. Now swim out as far as you can. Let's see how good you can do. No, they'll say, look, hold on to the side of the pool, hold on to the ladder right here, and let me get in position. And they will go out. The parent or the adult will go out, and then when they are ready, then they'll say, okay, now let go of the safety of the side of the pool, let go of the ladder or whatever you're doing over there, and now come to me. Right? And that's how our shepherd does. He never says go and then expects you to go. Listen, the Lord will never send you away from him. He will always tell you to come towards him. And so when you have a go, don't go yet. He's giving you instructions. And so wait for that go to turn to a come. And when the go turns to a come, then it's time to go. So wait for him to get in position. He will always say, come to me when it's time for you to move. And so stay where you are, learn everything you can. That's why he wants you to learn, he wants you to prepare, he wants you to get ready for this new life that he's bringing you into, for this new challenge, for this new mission or assignment. And so get what you can, absorb what you can from him, and wait for the go to turn to a come, and then start moving. That way you don't get ahead of your shepherd. Nothing more important than staying close to the shepherd. And so moving too fast is one reason we get lost. Another reason is we might be drawn away. The Bible says we are drawn away by our own lust. And lust is not just sexual things. A lot of people, they hear that and they say, oh, well, no problem. I don't have a problem with sexual desires and this and that. But listen, lust can be of different lifestyle. It can be of more money. It can be of more popularity or socialism or anything that you desire that will entice you and draw you away from the will of God for your life. And so you can just be craving things that are drawing you away from the plan of God for your life. And that's one reason you get lost. And you get distracted by that and you start moving towards that. And so be aware of that. When you feel yourself drawing away from the mission that God has you on. That's one thing. And the third and final thing is fear. So fear is one of the things that can cause us to get distracted. And so you always want to make sure. Sorry, I was getting a text message and I wanted to make sure it wasn't one of you saying, hey, we can't hear you or something like that. So hopefully everyone can hear me. I don't see the comments and I try not to look at that while I'm talking. But so the third and final thing I'll talk about is fear. Fear can cause you to run away from the shepherd. And so you never want to be running away from things. You always want to be going towards the shepherd. Nothing should be more enticing to us than the voice of our shepherd. And so Jesus said in John 10:3, it says, the gatekeeper opens the gate for me. He says, I come in and speak, and my sheep know my voice, and they come unto me. And so that's the ticket. Nothing should be more enticing to us than the voice of our shepherd. Listen for his voice. If you get lonely, listen for his voice. If you get frustrated, listen for his voice. If you need direction, listen for the voice of your shepherd. Stop what you're doing, stop moving around, and just listen for that voice, and then you can go to his voice.